Another world.
Morning, everyone. Will you join me in the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag
States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Caleb's going to do our invocation this morning.
God, we just pray over this meeting. God, just like we pray one nation under God, we pray that over the county, one county. God, we remember that while we can disagree and fight, God, we pray that we understand that we're ultimately trying to see the county flourish, see things go well here, that it's a great place for people to live. God, pray that we remember that people are what's most important here. God, that you give us wisdom, discernment. God, I pray that as we communicate, as we talk, as we disagree, that we say things in a way that they can be heard and not the emotions and the feelings get in the way of that. God, we pray for wisdom to think through all of the implications for what's decided here today. We love you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thanks, Caleb. Make sure your microphone is
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I was like, say that again.
So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Were there changes?
Yes.
Okay. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Make a motion, we approve the claims in the amount of $708,158.60.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And debates this is a reduction.
That's correct.
Okay. Make a motion, on the reduction on the ad and debates number, let's see. Where is it? 2024-276, 2024-277, 2024-278 in the amount of $1,350. That's my motion.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
May I have any changes to the agenda?
Sheriff X wanted to come over and talk on the COLA and employee wages, but I don't know if that matters. He did ask if that's okay with you to add him to that section.
Okay. When does he want to? Does he?
Just he'll be watching, I'm assuming, and then come over when we
Okay.
start talking about COLA.
Okay.
I don't have anything else.
You have anything?
I don't believe so.
Make a motion, we approve the agenda with the change, Sheriff Akes is written.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. AMR?
Good morning, Tom Brooks with AMR. I have your monthly report for August, the 1st through the 24th. Blue Mound had 15 calls, 5 transports. Centerville, 6 calls, 2 transports. Lacine, 24 calls, 11 transports. Fontana, 1 call, 0 transports. Lane, 2 calls, 1 transport. Lynn Valley, 6 calls, 3 transports. Mapleton, 1 call, 1 transport. Mound City, 34 calls, 12 transports. Parker, 8 calls, 3 transports. Pleasanton, 26 calls, 18 transports. Prescott, 7 calls, 3 transports, for a total of 130 calls and 59 transports so far this month. Last week you said you wanted to meet this week, but Jason's gone again.
He's gone this week, so I can't do it.
Gonna postpone it another
Yeah.
week, or?
You'll be gone next week, right?
Possibly. September 8th.
Our next meeting is September 2nd.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm going to be gone. So
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry.
what are your thoughts?
No. Maybe we need to go into
October.
When do we have the budget? We have to have the budget in by when?
It has to be finalized and submitted to the state of Kansas by October 1st.
October 1st.
We would have 3 Mondays. Or 4, sorry. Do you want to touch base with her for 10 minutes or you want to?
Yeah, let's go in executive session for 10 minutes. For contract negotiations, AMR, our attorney, and 2 commissioners.
Be
Both of your
trade
AMR
secret,
representatives.
proprietary,
Say that again?
trade secret, proprietary.
He motioned for it to
Trade-
be
Contract
Are you
negotiations.
suggesting it should be
Yes.
secrets?
Trade secrets for negotiations. Okay. For 10 minutes.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
But I want to discuss Jason going in as well.
Jason Jenkins.
I don't think we motioned that, did we?
I said both
Okay,
representatives.
Perfect. I'm good with that.
I said both of them.
Okay.
Okay. We'll return at 9:19. Was no action. Read the sheriff's report, Natalie, please.
Total prisoners in 46, 19 releases past week. Total farmed out 1, total farmed in 34, total 911 calls 76, total jail contacts 3,853, total calls for service 586, total full service papers served 29, bin inspections 8, new cases open 29, cases closed 9, vehicle crashes 3, SRO activities 4, bailiff contacts 235, livestock out 1. And that's it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Randy?
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Higwell, Linn County Emergency Management and Rural Fire. I sent out this week's call totals. We had 10 total calls. Brings our total up to 412 for the year. Compared to this same week last year, we're 50 calls ahead of what we were setting last year. Just for information. So we're still under what we go off of for budgeted numbers, but we have been running more calls this year. Last week I spoke about the training line item in the general fund. I did talk to Danielle this week about that. She gave me some numbers. I wasn't where I could write those down. But that was budgeted for 25. The money was still sitting there for 25. So that's what I was asking permission to use to help pay for the training that we're going through right now. We have about $2,300 in books that we've purchased, and then the testing is going to be roughly another $1,000.
So 3,300, there's that much money there.
I don't remember what Danielle said as far as
Yes, there's funds for that.
What was the line item for the funds?
It's called EMS. David Lamb set that up for educational services for firefighters and law enforcement that want to become EMT certified or have any sort of first aid medical response training. It hasn't been used for several years other than some AED equipment was purchased out of it a couple years ago. This year we discussed in 2026 eliminating that line from the budget since it's not being utilized.
But for 2025, there's still money there.
That is correct.
How much was in equipment reserves?
Equipment reserves.
Or what, is that what it was considered, or
Oh, sorry, no, it's in the general fund. The account is called
EMS education?
EMS, yes. I can look it up real quick if you want to know the exact number.
$2026, we proposed to eliminate funding for that, but it would still roll over, correct?
That is not correct.
Okay.
Funding does not roll over. Everything is swept
done.
and starts fresh.
So this would be the last time he could really use it if we decided to
That's correct.
take it up.
Unless he wants to build it into his budget or it comes out of maybe a contingency line in the general fund.
Okay.
And this training is firefighter 1 that we're offering to the firefighters. So
Well, if there's money there, I don't have, if it's already been budgeted for that, I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with that. I just wanted to wait to see how much we have. Do you want time?
Yep, I have it right here.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to come back to it.
It would open it.
Put you on the spot.
Here it is, okay. EMS, okay, there's $12,000 total in that fund. 6,000 for contractual and 4,000 for commodity and 2,000 for capital outlay.
what was the commodities again?
Sorry, commodities was 4,000,
Okay.
contractual was 6,000.
So the books would come out of the commodities and the testing would be the contractual. So it's two different where it's coming out of.
Not to exceed 3,300?
Yeah.
We
You
need
need
a
a motion?
motion for that.
I'll make a motion that we authorize Randy with EMS to allocate $2,300 in books out of commodities and $1,000 out of contractual out of the EMS education line item in the general fund.
I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you for looking into that.
No problem. That is all I have unless you guys have questions about anything.
I don't have anything.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
What's the district court budget?
They need their budget approved so they can submit it to the state. They were supposed to have it submitted on Friday, the 22nd. They're just asking you to approve what they've requested.
Can you pull it
I
up?
can pull that up real quick.
Sorry. Do you want time? You want us to go on with something else? Or are you good?
Yeah, if you'd like to go on.
It's up to you, Jim. But
What's that?
did you want to skip district court and go to P and Z while she finds
Oh,
the
okay.
budget
That's
stuff?
fine.
Okay, I have it here.
Ben?
Of course, you'll do it after Ben.
Good morning.
Morning, Ben Souza, Planning and Zoning. I just wanted to say that we are down 4 members in District 1 and 2. That puts us at 5 members, and we need all members to show up to have quorum for our meetings and hearings. We have a hearing scheduled. Well, we had one. We still have it scheduled, but I had to reschedule it because one member said that they weren't going to be able to make it on that date. So I had to push it out another 20 some days because of the 20-day public notice and everything. So I just wanted to put it out there again. We need 4 people, District 1 and 2, both 2 seats. So that's it. Unless you had any questions for me.
Have you had any options yet? Anybody?
None.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just wanted to put it out there.
Okay. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you,
Yep.
Ben.
I have district court pulled up on the screen here. All right, keeping in mind that district court wages are paid by the state of Kansas, not by our county. They've requested $6,000 for jury duty, contractual expenses $195,800, utilities $3,500, commodities $15,000, capital outlay $10,000.
Did they give us a breakdown on the contractual or utilities?
Yeah,
The
what
only
util-
utilities they pay is a phone bill. The sheriff's department takes care of all the utilities in the district court or the judicial center.
And how much of an increase was from, let's see, from total? 25 to 26 is,
Looks like 35,000 more in contractual.
that had to do with what they thought was a hearing that they'd have, that they had to bring people back
From Europe is what they were thinking, I believe. That could be the county attorney I'm thinking of.
Did they supply the breakdown of contractual?
If there was an additional sheet, I don't have it
Okay.
in this file. I apologize.
Jacqueline, what happens if we don't approve that extra there and then they need it? What happens?
So if the budget that you approve is less than what someone ultimately uses, depends on whether they're in the statutory budget or the general fund. Which one is this?
This is the general fund.
Yeah, so that would just essentially take money from a different department to the extent that they did go over that.
Go to the general fund, okay.
Are we going over all of it today?
I don't
Okay.
believe so.
When are we doing that again?
Whenever you'd like.
Okay.
I mean, we can do whatever you want, obviously. I just didn't have it. I just didn't have it in the agenda.
Well, I probably wouldn't have gone forward just because Jason's not here, but
Sure.
I kind of would like to see that breakdown of contractual if it was provided, and if not, I would mind to see that from them. Commodities increase about $5,000.
Jacqueline, do you know the consequences directly to district court if they fail to submit their budget to the state of Kansas?
I don't know anything about that. I have not looked into that.
Commissioners, if you'd like, I can see if Gina Witherspoon is available to come speak to you today. If she
Okay.
needs that approved today, would that be okay?
Okay.
Would you mind asking her if she has the breakdown of the contractual?
I can do that.
Jesse?
Sorry to interrupt, Jesse. Sorry, but I just found it in my email. Okay. You don't have to ask her. Do you want me to send it to you so he can see it?
If you'd like.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
You're okay, go ahead.
Okay. Jesse Walton, Public Works. First thing here, I didn't add it on my agenda, but if I can get a 15-minute executive session with the two commissioners, Jacqueline and with Rose and myself for employee performance.
You want it now?
Yes.
Is Rose available?
She's
She
here.
just walked in.
Okay. I'll make a motion. We go into executive session for 15 minutes with Jesse, Rose, HR, and attorney, and the two commissioners for employee performance for 15 minutes.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We'll return at 9:46. There was no action. What else, Jesse?
Okay. Okay, so the door here in the commission room, we had a quote given on this door behind me, the double door, to have a breakaway installed here. That quote was sent out to you. I did visit with Randy this last week, had him come down, give an explanation of why we needed this in here. I've asked Randy to come up or help me out to make sure we explain this correctly, of why we need this door open during business hours.
On this door, because the occupancy number in this room is required to have that panic hardware. After meeting with Jesse, I contacted the state fire marshal's office. I'm supposed to get him a scale drawing of this room and go over some of the options that Jesse and I talked about. So there may be some other options that we can do as far as making this room compliant as far as fire codes. Once they submit that back to us, then we'll have that piece of paper from them saying, hey, this is what will work in this room, what will not work. And then it kind of gives us a better plan moving forward on these doors.
Okay. We just had the one bid on replacing the bid before, right?
Yep. I talked with Randy, him getting with state fire marshal so we can figure out more of the details if we need to put in a breakaway door here, or if we need to leave it open, put in an opening alarm system on it that it'll chime when someone comes through that door, or if we can lock these double doors that go into the office space area, or what we can do that way to isolate what rooms we need to isolate if we need to. So when we get that letter back from the state fire marshal, we'll come back and hash out some more details on it.
Okay.
I have a question on the door. It's exceeding the 5,000. Do we need to go off to bid for that, or that doesn't matter? Do you want to get
No,
other
so
bids?
when
or
it
you
goes
just
out, when
want-
it goes over 25,000, then I have to go out for
Okay.
bid. If it's between 5,000 and 25,000, I just have to have at least 2 written bids on that.
Do you have another one then?
Not yet, no.
Oh, okay, you're gonna
No,
work
when
on
I
that?
got with Randy, I wanted to know the specifics of what we needed to do in this room before we went out and got another one, so we could understand if there was a cheaper route to go, we would go that route.
Okay.
So,
All right, thank you.
And some of the options that we discussed may come in cheaper. So
Okay,
we just want that documentation from them. That way.
perfect.
it
From the
goes
state
back on-
fire marshal.
Yeah, that way it goes back on them instead of Jesse or I. So.
Okay.
thanks, Randy.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Okay, I'd sent out a document from Evergy on 2400 Road north of the power plant. On there was a map of what they wanted to do. Let's see. We'll go over this. 9, 8.
Are you on the PDF or are you on the road project overview?
It'll be,
Overview.
it should say 2400 Road Project
Okay,
Overview.
I'm on it.
If I can get it to connect, there we go. So on this project here, there's an existing culvert on the east that they would like to take out and then re-ditch along the north side of the road. They own that property on the north, and go down. And on the west side, there's an existing cement box culvert that they would replace to handle the water going through. On the south side of the road, when we had the big rain over a year ago, it washed out two big culverts going into their property. They went back through and replaced those culverts, did a bunch of riprap in there to help with the erosion control. And that's their biggest concern, is the flooding and erosion that go on when they get a big rain, of all that water that comes off those fields, hits the road, comes across the road, and washes on the south side of the road. They will fund this project 100%. They have an engineer that's been working on this to go through and get everything put together on it. They just wanted me to bring this in and present it to you to see if you're okay with that. I'm fine with it. That road does not get traveled all that much. It's a very lightly traveled road. We do maintain it.
It's a dead end down.
And
to
it's a
the lake.
dead end road right down to the lake. But like I said, they will fund this project 100%. They just need our blessing to go ahead and start on with that. This project will not start until the fall of next year.
Now, like that yellow line, is that where the ditch is now? And they want to move it into our right of way, or?
That's where they're going to put the future ditch.
So that's going to be actually off of our right of way.
Correct.
Right?
Yep. So the blue line on the right is the existing ditch that comes down and hits the culvert that's in the road right there. They want to remove that culvert on the east and then cut that new ditch, which is the yellow, all the way over to the west to the next blue line, the next blue ditch, and go through a bigger cement box culvert.
And you've looked at it, right? So,
Yep,
So it's actually moving the water out of our right of way back onto them.
correct. Yep. It'll help our road a lot too on that, being able to channel that water down to that bigger box culvert.
I don't see any issues with it, but I would like Jason just to review it. Is that his district? I think it is. So, do you need a motion for that to move forward?
I don't know if I need a motion or not, or just okay, yeah, a motion for it.
You wanna-
And I can call Jason about this and let him know what they want to do and visit with him.
Do you want to just put it on the agenda for next week? I don't have any issues with it, so if
I
you guys
don't
want to
have
vote
any.
on it next
Yeah.
week with Jason, it's just in his district. I want to make sure he knows
Okay.
what's going on.
Okay,
Stream restoration project.
okay, next we've got the Evergy structure replacement project they've got going on from south central Linn County. This is going to go up through the county and end up there at the power plant up at the lake. They're going to replace 140 structures in this stretch going up through there. They need to put in a number of entrances off our county road all the way up in there. What they're proposing is there's going to be 10, there is going to be 10 spots they need to go in. Now on these spots that they're going to go through there, some of them are going to need culverts, some of them are just going to need rock, some of them they won't need to put nothing in there. I think I'd put in there how many we needed, I think 10. 10 entrances. The cost per application is $250 each, plus the cost of the culvert. The total amount of this would be $2,500. What I would like to propose is that they would pay the $1,000 to cover all of these applications, where not each entrance will require a culvert, and we're going to be there, and it's going to be on the west side and east side of the road as they go up through there, or the north side and the south side.
Now,
So-
will they leave these in, or will they take?
Yep, so they'll leave them in. If there's a fence there, like what they did up here on Snow Hill Road, they put gates in for the landowner so they can get in and out of there. So they do make it accessible and permanent for the landowner, so they'll have gates to access their property off of that. Plus, it helps them with their maintenance when they go through and do brush clearing here in the future as they go through. But as they're going up through Boy Court, there's not a lot of fences up there. It's just going to be that they're going to have to go through. It's just going to be entrances off the road.
I'm sorry, can you explain to me again, what was this for?
This is for the Evergy structure project. They're replacing a bunch of power poles.
The large
Okay.
power line.
They're already there,
The line is, yes, the power line.
The power line's there.
and they're replacing.
They're replacing
what
poles.
type of pole?
Say that again.
What type of pole are they?
They're replacing the wood poles and putting in metal ones. And there's 140 structures is what they told me they're going to be replacing.
So if there's a yellow dot, that's gonna be a larger,
That's going to be an entrance.
okay.
So we took off everything but where the entrances are going to go. There is a couple of entrances that didn't get put on there that they're going to be accessing the road where they just need some gravel because there is no bar ditch there.
And this is gonna help with, what was the purpose of that?
So they can get off the road and not rut the ditch up to get off and on the road.
Thoughts?
I think they're probably needed for their entrances to get into their line. If they're doing the work and putting the culverts in themselves. I don't see why we don't let them do it.
I don't have a problem with it off the top of my head, but can I just review it for the week? Or do they need it
No,
now?
they're starting this week. They would like to get
Do
in
we
this.
have an option or they just do it? I'm just wondering.
They have to replace the poles due
They
to
have to
code
get
that
in.
they have to abide by
I meant
with that.
the entrances there.
They need the entrances in or they're just going to put them in themselves. They've gone through and already put entrances in. I went out and visited with them. They've came in and paid those application fees of those entrances that they've already put in. They didn't know they needed applications filled out to put entrances in off of our county roads.
So they've just been doing the project without applications.
They've been putting in the entrances without applications.
Can I just circle back the end, please?
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the next thing I have is the Baskerville culvert. This has been brought up a few times. This is an old culvert that we had a problem with when we had the big rain a year or so ago. This culvert started to wash out. On the edge on this side, this is the entrance of the culvert, which is the west side of the culvert. It's a rock laid culvert for 20 feet, and then they sleeved a galvanized culvert on the downstream side. This is also a 20 feet of culvert, so there's 40 feet altogether through there. As you can tell, it's starting to deteriorate and fall apart going through there. This is one that we had FEMA. They came out and looked at this with us. This is below the culvert. So we're actually washing underneath the galvanized culvert now. The rock is coming apart in there. One of our biggest problems here is the head wall on the inlet. They went through and taken some channel iron and some planks and put that on the entrance so the head wall doesn't continue to fall off. And that's where we've been having the issue with this culvert. I would like to get a hold of our on-call engineer, have them come out and do an H&H study, a hydraulics and hydrology study on it to make sure that we replace this culvert with the right size culvert in this area. And that way they can also do their how many acre study of water is going to flow through this
Like we
culvert.
did on 900 Road and put.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's on the downstream, and that's the upstream entrance going into the culvert. So if that's okay, I'd like to get a hold of our on-call engineer, have them come out, take a look at this, and give us their suggestions of what we need to do with that. This is one of the projects I do need to get moving forward with.
Will FEMA help us with this?
Yep, so they reimburse us on the payments of this. When we submit it all in, then they'll turn back and
Tell us what they're gonna pay.
Yep.
Will we know before we can start the project? Or-
you know, I honestly don't, I can get a hold of them and ask, but I do know they will and reimburse us for quite a bit of the project.
Okay. I'm good with it.
I'm good with it.
Okay, I'll get a hold of them this week. We had a walkthrough out at the landfill this last week with our contractors to look at the berm that we need to install out there so we can continue on with our vertical expansion. I also spent some time with the Terracon looking at our expansion for moving to the east with our landfill for our C&D. We've requested a study from the Corps of Engineers with the old strip pit mine that's out there to see if we can fill that in and use it for our C&D in the future. So we're waiting to hear back from them when they get back to us on that. So just so you know, that's where we're at with the landfill.
Okay.
On the courthouse roof, I'm waiting for the main guy. He was out on vacation. He should be back this week. I'm going to reach out to him, see if he's reviewed all the paperwork that came back from the adjusters, and get back with you when we get that paperwork in on the courthouse roof. Other than that, that's all I have for you, unless you have any questions.
Let's just go back to the Evergy. I'm just making sure this is gonna happen no matter what, and you need a motion to approve. Did you say $1,000?
Yep, $1,000 for their.
2,500? It should be 2,500?
Yep, and there's going to be 10 entrances. Some are going to need just gravel, and the other ones, some of them are going to need a culvert put in. They will buy the culverts from us, so
Okay.
we're going to be in the same spot. I don't see why it wouldn't hurt. They're going to do one on the south, one on the north, one on the east, and one on the west. We're going to be there anyways with our equipment. We don't have to go back twice. So.
You want to make a motion?
And they're putting them in, or
We're putting them in. We're installing them, yes.
Or are they paying us for anything on that or no?
Yep, so they're going to pay the $1,000 if you approve that, and then they're going to pay us for the culverts that we put in.
and we'll put the gravel on like
Yep.
we do on any other ones.
I'm okay with it.
Okay. I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the, hold on. Just click
10
out of it.
entrances.
10 entrances for Evergy at $1,000 on the application fee. That's my motion.
I'll second that motion. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Another note, on 1700, we've been doing some asphalting up there, taking care of some patching. We did get the bridge work, both entrances on the east and west side of the bridge, the approach, got those paved. We still have a few other spots to pave in there and some pretty deep swags that they'll be working on later this week. And they're hoping to get back up there tomorrow and get working on those patches on that road.
Now on the bridge on 1077, they're on the south side of Centerville. We looked at it too. I know.
Yep, so we looked at it, so that's gonna be part of the project also this year. The plan is when we get done there on 1700, they've already milled down here on Tiger Road outside of Pleasanton, get that patch taken care of, then they're gonna move down to 300 Road, right off of Highway 7 and take care of that spot that they've already milled up on that. That way they can get those two mill spots taken care of, and then we'll work our way back over to Centerville and take care of that bridge that's just south of Centerville.
Okay.
Sounds good. With Jason not being here today, let's move the rural road county plan. Is that okay?
Okay.
I think we were having it today because Jason was gone, so.
Mhm.
Would you like to wait until September 8th when all three of you will be present?
15th.
15th, yes.
Sorry about that. We can change that.
Okay.
I'll get with Jason on that though, because he was gonna come over
Okay.
for that discussion.
Okay, thank you. Anything
Jason Parker.
Jason Parker.
else for me?
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
We'll open up for public comment.
Good morning. Jim Hendershot, 70 West Lakeside Circle in Tanglewood Lakes in Lacine. Couple of things I'd like to address this morning. If you recall, in June, I was here on a conversation about animals and dogs. Was told that there was no county authority, no county code, so to speak, addressing animals at large. I understand that. Following that meeting on June 9th, I put in an open records request through the county clerk's office just to research to make sure that that was the case. Like I say, that was on June 9th. Received an immediate response from Danielle saying that she would address this in a timely manner to the best of her availability. I don't believe that to be in compliance with an open records request as far as a response. Followed that up then on June the 20th, asking for an update, got no response. Followed that up again on July the 13th, over a month later, asking that, telling her, understanding her workload, but it doesn't meet state requirements for an open records request to just delay and not have an appropriate response. I did get a response from Danielle at that point, and within, I think, 2 days, had the documents that she had found. It wasn't anything to do with my purpose on animal control. My issue here is, one, the responses were not in compliance with state statutes on open records request. And then two, I was charged $44 for her time. And I do understand that counties and municipalities have the authority to charge for time and for copies, et cetera. That does need to have a fee schedule. I don't know if there's an appropriate fee schedule. I was just very surprised that after over a month that I was still charged $44 for that open records request, and I am requesting reimbursement of that $44. The second thing is I'd like to address is understanding that there was going to be a discussion again this morning about the cell tower in the Tanglewood area. Tried to educate myself because I haven't been here for a few meetings, tried to understand where this process was, and was surprised to see as of 9 o'clock last night, there's no minutes on the website since July the 28th. So I had no way of updating myself. I was able to watch the video from the last meeting. And in the interest of transparency to myself and all the Linn County folks, I would like to see those minutes posted in a little more timely manner. And also, as of 9 o'clock last night, there was no agenda posted for this meeting. It was there early this morning, but there was no agenda there. So again, you hear the word transparency a lot, and I would encourage you folks to practice that transparency. Thank you. I look forward to hearing from you about my reimbursement. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Angie Randall, Pleasanton, Kansas. The reason why I'm here today is to talk to you guys about the nudity clause for the county. I've had several people reach out to me and talk to me about it, of why that should have been the easiest thing that you guys voted on. Sheriff's Department cannot do their job. You're tying their hands by not passing this clause. If you have somebody that's on drugs, fentanyl, meth, anything that is mental, that can make them mental, where they strip off their clothes or whatever, police department, sheriff's department can't do anything about it without this nudity clause. Because it's not illegal to be high, they become a danger to themselves or other, which cannot fall under the disorderly conduct because it's it's a lot harder to articulate disorderly conduct because of the state statute. I'm very disappointed that the state doesn't have a nudity clause under for sexual gratification. However, we're tying law enforcement's hands in the county. I would hope that you guys would hurry up and make a decision on this because it's not a right. It's not whatever I do on my property. You're affecting everybody around you. And it doesn't matter if they're high on drugs or if they're just doing it to seek attention. That is impressionable upon young people and young children. And I know I wouldn't want my grandchildren to be seeing something like that. So I hope you guys hurry up and make a decision on this nudity clause, and I hope you pass it. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Morning. Marge Wake from Tanglewood.
Good morning.
I debated whether I should come and speak today, as a decision on the less than 100-foot tower regulation has been made, and nothing I can say today can change that. But I wanted to say thank you to Allison for her nay vote, and I, of course, wish the 2-to-1 result had been in favor of the change we were pushing for. What started as just an inside of Tanglewood issue where many people voiced objections turned into a countywide issue. And I think Tanglewood residents were just so relieved once the People's Tower was not going to be built inside the community that they dropped off. So it may not have appeared to you that many people cared. But those of us who continue to voice our concerns over cell towers really aren't misinformed Karens or kooks wearing tinfoil hats. Adding more EMF exposure around our homes to what we are already being bombarded with is not a logical answer. I guess time will tell. But I think the one thing we can all agree on is that this issue has been a confusing mess over the last 6 months. I hope that in the future, the county will be more transparent and provide clearer information and procedures, including the protest petition that we were unaware of until too late. And most importantly, I hope that the county will take a stronger stance in better protecting our environment and citizens' health. Thank you.
Thank you, Marge.
Anyone else? We'll close public comment. Go to old business.
I don't see mine.
Mike Murray emailed me and said that he was ill and unable to come today.
Mike Murray, okay. Jennifer Leach, Harlow.
Good morning.
Jennifer Leach Harlow with People's Telecommunications. I, like Marge, would like to second the fact that this has been the most confusing situation I have ever been in my life. I would like some clarification to the discussion of last week's meeting in regards to the planning and zoning case, as outlined in both the county zoning regulations and the statutes. Understand, there has been many thoughts and many actions taken on trying to find the best location to place this tower. Many things have not been considered on when placing a tower. You not only have to have power, fiber, and then of course the elevation to place the tower or the receivers. We have reached out and tried to locate many other options in placing these towers. The Planning Commission is the body that holds the public hearing, not the Board of County Commissioners. At this hearing, members of the county have the opportunity to present their case directly to the Planning Commission. The Commission's role is to make decisions based on zoning and regulations as written, on facts and the laws. The Planning Commission may also add conditions to the minimum standards outlined in those regulations. Following the Planning and Zoning Commission decision, there is a 14-day protest period during which a protest petition may be filed. This process clearly states in Article 20-104C of the zoning regulations and the KSAA 12-757, only after this period does the case proceed to the Board of County Commissioners. At that time, the Planning and Zoning Directors represent the case and the Planning Commission's recommendation. The Board of County Commissioners may then vote on the matter, return it in written to the Planning and Zoning for further review, table it, or make a modification. If the Board of County Commissioner votes, that's the decision was final, which is what I understood to happen on August 11th, I believe it was, 2025. The Planning and Zoning hearing was on July 8th, so 14 days after that would have been July 22nd. The only resource available to the public after such vote is an appeal to the District Court under the KSA 19-2023, which must be within the 30 days and may be subjected to a bond set by commissioners. As elected leaders, the Board of the County Commissioners has the responsibility to rely on the expertise of the department heads and legal counsel. Department heads such should be hired for the knowledge and experience, and their recommendations provided an essential foundation for the information in the decision-making. Likewise, the county councilors serve to ensure decisions are legal and sound, consistent, disregarding professional advice, and speaking of them undermines both the process and the public trust. Me in the position that I am, I have an accountant, I have an operations manager, and I have an IT department. If they come to me with recommendations and suggestions, and I disregard the information that they provide to me, I not only lose their respect, but it makes the morale of the company even less than it is. The most effective leadership comes from the trust the professionals hired to serve in these roles, listening to the expertise, sticking to the facts, not opinions, and weighing their recommendations carefully. This approach not only strengthens the decision-making process, but it also upholds the integrity of the county and the county that you serve. As a Linn County Commissioner, it is very important to leave your personal opinion at the door. Do what the majority vote is by the county. This is exactly the government procedure that allowed you to be elected in the position that you are in. As a Linn County citizen, I have to accept that. Trying to educate others on how to change that would be a waste of time and energy. After I feel like a 6-month project, should I proceed or not proceed? Since the beginning, I had done everything completely and specifically respectful and patient as possible with this entire process. I feel like the county should be excited about new businesses, new opportunities, and more revenue. Revenue is obviously, as we need revenue, obviously, for the amount of 6 pages of unpaid taxes that were in the paper this last week. The Telecommunications Act of 1996 restricts local government from denying or restricting the placement of wireless facilities based on environmental effects of radio frequency RF emissions. Provided the facility complies with the FCC regulations, this means a county cannot deny a permit for a tower simply because of concerns about RF emissions of the facility meeting the FCC standards. So please, Linn County Commissioners, provide me with where you feel like I should go forward. I would like a minute to thank all of you, the time and energy I can provide you with many notes that I have received from Tanglewood. As the same situation that I spoke of, it goes by a majority vote. I had sent out letters to all of Tanglewood customers that I currently have in respect to, do you want this or do you not want this? If the majority vote was they didn't want it, why would I waste my time doing it? So I went by majority vote in making the decision to proceed with this. So that being said, I guess I would just like to know where I stand in the fact of you voted yes, but then last week there was information giving out of here you need to go about how to proceed. So I don't know if the commissioners or if the legal can tell me, am I safe to proceed? Am I not safe to proceed? Where do we stand?
The regulations that were amended by planning and zoning were approved by the Board of County Commissioners. So the amendment that was made is officially made in the regulations. So to the extent that your organization or your new development is governed by that amendment, then you're welcome to proceed along the lines of that amended regulation.
Okay, thank you. Do you guys have any questions for me?
I don't have.
Thank you.
Public nudity resolution.
Okay, I don't know if you sent this out in an email or this right here.
It's just right.
Okay, I made changes on section 3, removing 2 lines of text. And then also on section 4, parentheses A, changed it from 4 to 5 years old. That's what was there, and that's what was deleted out. And then on section 4, 4 years old, changing to 5, which is standard for the state of Kansas.
Where did we come up with this at? Was you involved in it or was it?
The sheriff's office did extensive research comparing neighboring municipalities and other municipalities across Kansas on what they had for nudity resolution. They had provided that in an email with the resolutions that existed in other municipalities and ultimately compiled a resolution that they believed to be appropriate for Linn County. I did review it and agreed that it should go to you all for your consideration. And Commissioner Hamilton made some revisions. Those can certainly be made.
You looked at her revisions?
I have not looked at it. But based on how she described it, I believe that,
Section 3, parentheses A. It's only on the front page. Just removing 4 lines of text.
so this can be updated so that it can be signed today, right? Yeah. So, based on her description, I mean, this seems appropriate.
Sheriff, would you like to look at it too? I mean,
Discussed it with Bobby and we're that we accepted.
okay. She said under the 5, so it's got to be 4 or under, then is what you're saying?
Well,
You said under the age of 5.
so if the child is 5 years old or younger, then the parent cannot be fined.
Wait,
or taken to jail.
I thought it says under the age of 5.
Is that what that says?
You changed it to a child under the age of 5. Right now it says
So
a
for-
child under the age of 4.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. Let me see. Let me pull up Topeka's really quick.
So the age issue is kind of nuanced because the officers are not going to be ticketing children to the extent that parents are letting children between the ages of 5 and 17 run around naked, then that could be a different issue. And so the idea was that as a county, the sheriff's office did not want to put anything in writing here that could potentially conflict with another statute. And so they're not providing permission for folks over the age of 5 to be in the nude in public spaces.
So then that needs to really be changed to 6 if 5 and under was like a standard for the state.
There's not a standard for the
Well,
state.
okay, I'm just looking at Topeka, just lots of other counties and cities.
Yeah, so every municipality has their own. So to the extent that you want it to say child under the age of 6, then that is something that it could be amended to say. Right now, it says a child under the age of 4.
So it's 3 or none, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, if a 3 and they're running through the sprinkler, whatever the case may be.
In my head, I was just thinking a child that was 5 and under should be excluded. So that would have to say 6 instead of 5. Under 6, I guess.
So do we need a new copy of that before we make a motion to accept it, or?
I can make the changes and print it out for your guys' review and approval.
We'll move on and come back, circle back to that. Rural Road County Plan, we're waiting on Jason, right? Go to the COLA on employee wages. Sheriff Akes, was you wanting to speak on that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sheriff Akes, Linn County, Kansas. So what I brought here was merely just recommendations, suggestions, but today I would like to speak about comments that have been made throughout the year regarding employee benefits, cost of living raises, things like that. I'd like to point out that for the last year, I have been on a different side of employer-employee side of things. Currently, as a sitting sheriff for Linn County, I've noticed that employees rely on people like us to look out for them and their well-being. I am concerned because I do not believe the employees' concerns are being voiced to the commissioners as they should. I am here today to be a voice for the employees that will not speak up or speak out. During a recent meeting, it was dropped out of the blue, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, okay? I don't have any issues with that. But it was dropped out of the blue that there was going to be a change in healthcare from Blue Cross and Blue Shield to possibly United. Fortunately, that wasn't presented, and it got stopped before it could happen. This is my point of contention here with the whole insurance thing. I didn't see any discussion ahead of time, and there was no warning to the employees that it was kind of a shock to the system. Decision to make a drastic change to something so valuable to the employees of Linn County with with thoughtfulness and planning, this new implementation could have been seamlessly presented. Instead, it was shut down. So when you guys, I understand the whole insurance thing, but most employees do not understand the insurance thing. So there's a lot of times the way it's presented could have been a lot less more impact than what you guys, what it was presented. So we were presented with a kind of a survey of what benefits we wanted to lose or didn't want to lose, and we got a lot of pushback from that. Taking away the employee's benefits can be the one thing that separates an employee from working for Linn County or walking away and seeking other employment. I want to suggest that there's a different approach be taken to employee benefits. We will take example the health care. Did anyone of the employees know that the health care was going up? We didn't. That's probably one of the things. If we knew that the health care was going up, we probably should have looked at a different avenue a little bit earlier. Commissioners should have set aside and said, hey, this is coming down the pipe. You know, we've got to do something different about this, and this is going to cost us a lot of money. We could have set up a different situation. I have a hard time believing that it's been said to me that the healthcare says it's not up for negotiation, and if you don't like it, you can go on. I have a hard time believing that a healthcare company is going to want to lose $1 million. They might say that it's not up for negotiation, but I truly believe that we could all sit down at the table and put our heads together and let them know, hey, we're going to lose this, or we're going to cut you out, and we're going to look for other options. Because I believe earlier when Blue Cross and Blue Shield was going to raise their rates, we looked at them and said, hey, we're going to go look elsewhere. And Blue Cross and Blue Shield they came back to the table and said, no, we're not going to raise your rates. I mean, it's been done before. Speaking for all the employees, we'd rather pay more to keep Blue Cross and Blue Shield. That's just the way we feel about it. We feel that Blue Cross is a quality company for us, but we understand with the rising cost that's going up, I really truly believe it should have been put back to the people, the people that wanted to keep the Blue Cross. You gave us an alternative with the United, and with the alternative, Jim, was the prices not going up? Weren't they staying the same if we went with United? And they were going to keep it the same. And
Say 200,000, right? Is it?
Right. But our plan and everything, am I right? It was going to stay the same, and that's why we're going to go with United, because Blue Cross was 180,000 over. Mm-hmm. I'd put it right back to your employees and say, if you're going to keep Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you're going to pay for it. We could have compensated, the difference in that. And that's one of the ways it could have been negotiated. It also could have been negotiated with Blue Cross to say, hey, you guys are over. We need to get back in line, and seeing what they had. But I think that if we approach this earlier and let them know that we are looking, and we're looking at other avenues, let the employees look at other avenues, get a final price from these healthcare places, and present the options to the employees. Hey, if you want this higher insurance, then this is what it's going to cost you, and see what your employees say. I kind of feel. I feel on my end that we're not far from being. Our wages. I feel like our wages are a little low. I feel like we're underpaid. I don't think that we're very far off. We just lost a dispatcher of 3 years to Anderson County for $1. hate that because now we got to spend 3 years to get the new dispatcher trained to where the old one was. And the decision there, and that's what I'm saying, we're not far off on our wages. Now, I believe that the public works needs some work on as far as their wages go. I'm happy with our wages to a point to where I think we're less than $1 away from being very competitive on our wages throughout the sheriff's office. But that brings me to the COLA. Guys, this COLA, the people count on it. We've got electric companies going up 18%, groceries going up 15%. It keeps our wages from being stagnant. I just asked that it be considered because, this year might be a learning experience, but next year we can start fresh, start early, start with our negotiations, and start getting better prices. We're top heavy on benefits, and I think that we're going in the wrong direction with offering this huge benefits package and offering a lower wage and getting people hooked in on the benefits package, but we got a lower wage. I just think that we're going backwards on that. If we can offer a competitive wage, less benefits, and maybe more buy-in from our employees on the benefits, I'd still think that we're going to be competitive to everybody else. As far as the KP&F goes, it was mentioned that, the sheriff's office got KP&F, and that was a big investment. It was a big investment, and we greatly appreciate that from the commission. And the thing with KP&F is only 21 of my employees received KP&F, and the other 30 employees did not. So I don't want that to be a basis on whether or not COLA is given out or anything like that, because I totally understand that. And on the deputy side, they do make more money than on the jail side and things like that. But I don't want that to be a base as a consideration for my other 30 employees. I feel like it's important. And I'm not asking for a lot. I'm not asking for a whole bunch as far as wages go, as far as wage increase goes. When I started here in 2013, there was never been a focus on making sure the employees had competitive wages because we had such a great benefits package. I want to see skilled workers. I want to see people come down here and come to work and make the decision not to drive north or west or east to get that extra dollar. I want to be that competitive. And, of course, this is strictly my opinion here. Everybody I feel that works for Linn County has a pride for working for Linn County. Everybody I feel that works here wants to work here. And I don't think that we have anybody that works here that just works here just because they don't have a job. I think they go out with the drive of wanting to make Linn County better. And the best thing is the focus on those employees that want to make the county better and that have the drive to accomplish their job and be proud of it when they're done. I remember back when I was younger, it was competitive to work for the county. When I was younger, it was kind of a stature, and you had to wait in line to go work for the county and wait for somebody to leave because it was that much pride. In closing, this is what I want you to consider. And speaking for Linn County employees, please consider giving the power to your employees. Receive their input. I don't want 3 people to make the decision for everybody when, it's the same thing, Jim, if you give it to the employees and they vote and they say, well, we're going to keep Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Well, you say, well, it's going to cost you an extra $100 a month on your insurance. You know, when they get to come in here and they complain and they say, our insurance is so high, you're making us pay an extra $100. Well, they're the ones that chose to. They're the ones that chose to do that. This is not something that you guys put in their lap. You know, they're the ones that chose to keep Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They're the ones that chose to pay that extra money. So, you know, give it to the people and let the majority vote. Make sure all the employees get an input. You know, some of these employees don't have county emails. If we don't have county emails, let's get it out to them on paper and let them know. This is a driving factor to maintain a healthy workforce. Let's go to the negotiation table. I'll go with you. Let's go to the negotiation table with our vendors and all of our vendors that think that, you know, just because we're government, that it's going to be the easy gravy train and they can charge us what they want to. I'm noticing that this year with a lot of the vendors, and we're not taking the first price as their suggestion. That, you know, the undersheriff, he's done a great job of negotiating, and I believe it can be done all the way across the table. They're going to keep raising their prices. There's only a certain point that we can maintain on a benefits package wise, and employees have got to understand that. I believe our benefits package is extremely healthy, and, you know, I don't see how we can maintain it. I don't see how we can keep maintaining it.
Well, I think that was our question when we asked about the benefit package. If we had to cut something, what would it be? And I think it got took out, you know, in their own. It
did, but we also, I'll tell you, the way I felt and a lot of the other employees felt with the email, it was kind of worded poorly because it pushed us in a corner without another suggestion. Because when the email come out and said, hey, you know, what benefit do you want to lose? Well, we don't want to lose any benefits. We're not going to answer this. You know, and this can be accomplished. And I know that was done, and I know why it was done. Okay, but the employees don't know why that was done.
Did you try to help us to explain it, though?
No, I did not try to. I explained it to the rest of my employees.
Are you and I on the same team?
Yes.
Against one another?
Yes. No, I am absolutely on your team. That's why I'm here with these recommendations. And I explained it to my employees, but I didn't come in here and explain it to you guys.
We could have sent out another email.
The email, yes. So the suggestion, there could have been a suggestion box at the bottom, you know, without having the three choices of what we want to lose. But I don't have any problem working with you. And I strongly think that if we all put our heads together, we can come up with a better system and a better way of communicating with the employees, letting them know that as a government, we can't keep going on like this, and there has to be some buy-in. I mean, there has to be.
I went through multiple years with a company that they would up my insurance.
Mm-hmm.
They'd give us a raise. But when they upped my insurance, when it was all said and done, I was in worse shape.
Correct.
Not taking the raise because they'd raise.
Correct. And since you've been through that, you know what I'm talking about. And we can offset that. I mean, we can do better. And I know we can. But it takes a matter of communication. And I think that's the biggest thing is if we don't communicate with the employees, they don't have any idea what's going on. And if we can get the communication to the employees, let them make, you know, some of the decisions. Our job is to guide them in the right direction.
But I think like what you're saying with the insurance, if we split it out to two companies, I don't think our benefit package will be as good as it is now because they even want all their.
No. I'm saying the majority votes, the majority rules. If you've got 200 employees and 180 of them, you know, vote for Blue Cross and Blue Shield, I'm sorry, but the other 20 employees are just going to have to, you know, they're going to have to take it. But it'll have to be that way. But you know what? If we get to the table, I have a hard time believing that Blue Cross or any company wants to lose the county, and lose $1 million out of their pocket. I just have a hard time believing that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just completely overlooking it, but I have a hard time believing that they would not go to the negotiation table with us. But you know what? It's a competitive market out there. We've got other companies that are trying to compete for our other benefits, that do the same thing. They were at the health fair. They were driving around in the county this last week, going door to door, selling these benefits and promising how much they could be cheaper than what we've got now. Now, I don't know if they're any good, and I don't know, and I didn't take them up on it because we already have that in place. But there is companies out there competing for us, and you know what? It's I think it's our job to do the research for the employees, give them the option, and then go from there. But being on this side of the employer and not the employee and everything else, it's a different ball game. I've never had this many employees. The most employees I've had is 8 when I had both of my businesses. So, there wasn't such a conflict and a diversity of families and everything that goes along with it. So, I'm just asking for a little consideration. Please consider our COLA. It would not, our wages, our employees are going to be very happy, and our wages won't go stagnant. I put in there also, and I'm not going to read it, but it's in there for you. There was I just wanted to do some research. There was a dollar given at one point, and Scott thought it was ARPA. We thought over at the sheriff's office, we thought it was because of the jail. And anyways, we need
Used ARPA money is what I thought
We-
it was. We used ARPA money to.
Okay, well, I was going to ask Jason because he was here also, but I was going to ask you. I wasn't sure. And anyways, that's something else to look at. But, please consider it. It's just recommendation. I'm not telling you what to do. It's just kind of how we feel. We took a general consensus over at the sheriff's office and Linn County Jail, and that's kind of how we all feel. But I'll be willing to work with you. I'll be willing to go to the table with you. I don't have any problem with that. So you got anything for me?
I don't know.
Not right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
The new business, 4-H building.
I sent a work order in regarding the 4-H building. There were some other questions that I had originally asked someone else to grab, but hold on, I'm pulling it up. So there are issues with the 4-H building kitchen. If you're not aware, the 4-H building kitchen was not working all week during the fair. Abby with the extension office had shut it down due to the state fire marshal codes. Randy had said it was okay. It wasn't state fire marshal, so I did get with Randy on it. Either way, the kitchen is not working. I asked them to get with Danny to kind of give us a recap of what's going on with the oven, the vents, the fryers, and provide a complete list of issues that need to be addressed for safety and or replacement. I'm just letting you know, I had them working on that.
Okay.
I would like to come up with a solution. I think the kitchen, if we're going to maintain the building, the kitchen needs to be in working order. So anyway, hopefully there's been a ticket created. It's assigned to Mike. And if I get any feedback from it, I will let you guys know.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Is there anything else?
Did you want to go back and visit the district court budget again
Yeah,
before we start
Yes, we did.
our
I forgot about that.
budget hearing? I sent you an email, Jim, with the attachments from district court explaining what their contractuals were.
Okay. What do you think?
I'm going through the expenditure on that. I'm not seeing where the, hold on, let me go back to the other page. Can you tell me what they have in reserves?
Yeah, let me pull that up.
I have it somewhere, but I wasn't prepared to go through that.
District court, correct.
That is correct. Have they given us a capital outlay plan of what they're saving for?
To the best of my knowledge, no. To the best of my knowledge, district court has $20,138 in equipment reserve.
I say we keep the 10,000. They're asking for 10,000 more in capital outlay if they needed to use that for the extra 35,000. I mean, they have it.
From this year?
That's what they were using it for, for the increase was the. I'm good with, hold on, let me look at this one more time. There we're at 195, 300. We do not have their salaries,
And that's not,
their capital outlay with the 10,000 added this year. Give them close to 30,000. They didn't present a plan. I didn't hear about that. Maybe I was absent on that. I know I was on Zoom when they came in here, but.
what do you think?
You want to cut 20,000?
I'm good with that.
So 210,300.
Okay.
Is it correct that you're reducing their contractual expenditure request by 20,000, 30,000? Would you say? I'm sorry.
Correct. Make a motion, we reduce district court budget to 210,300 for 2026.
I'll second that. Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Jacqueline, it's right, we do not have a contractual obligation with the 330-some thousand 2-stars this year of any.
My understanding after reviewing the minutes myself and Danielle also reviewing minutes, resolutions, and direct communication with director from STARS, there is no writing, no resolution, no MOU, no contract, no electronic communication between the county and the STARS regarding any sort of commitment for financing or otherwise. There is an MOU between Pleasanton and the school district with the STARS that the county is not a party to.
So if we did release the funds, you're saying since there wasn't anything in writing, we can say, we would like for you to spend this money on this, we can allocate the funds or no?
No, you didn't put that in writing whenever Linn County budgeted those funds or made any sort of decision to budget those funds, there was no strings attached to that money at that time. So to the extent that in the future you were to allocate funds to some sort of project for STARS or whatever, at that point in time, you could specify how you wanted any sort of funds to be spent, but that would need to be a part of the allocation of the funds at the initiation.
So if we allocate them now, we have no control over anything for this year.
From the budget that was already done, that's correct.
Right. Okay.
Do we still have the option to approve it? Or are you saying we don't? To approve the funds to be released? Is it still up to the commission?
Yes.
And the amount?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody have anything else in the commission meeting? I make a motion, we adjourn the commission meeting. We'll open up the budget
Until the regularly scheduled meeting next week.
to the, oh yeah, we gotta change the regulars, well, I forgot about that. I make a motion, we change the regular scheduled meeting next week from Monday to Tuesday at 9 a.m. on, what is it, September 2nd at 9 a.m. That's my motion.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. So that's it. As far as the meeting, we adjourn. Make a motion to adjourn the commission meeting.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.